Hey, what's going on, guys? So we'll be taking a look at another Urban Outfitters case, again in the Monarch series. A few videos ago I reviewed the kind of darker graphite version of this case. However, this is a different color. They do make two colors for this particular case, and this is the platinum version, which is essentially just kind of a silver. And yeah, I did review the darker version, like I said, a few videos ago. If you're interested in checking that out, you can do so. However, this will be a review of the lighter version if you're interested in this color and you want to see a more detailed look at it rather than just seeing the dark version when you're looking to purchase the light version and all that. So anyway, this is just the case itself. We'll go ahead and take a look at the packaging here. As you can see, it is very, very nice packaging. You just kind of open this little plastic piece here and then the case sits inside and all of that. Very, very sturdy, very, very nice packaging, which is of course a good thing to come with a $60 iPhone case. In the bottom left you can see that it is drop tested 2 times the military standard, which is ridiculous. All Urban Outfitters cases are drop tested to the military standard. However, this one is 2 times drop tested, which means you get double the protection of the military standard, which is very, very excessive in my opinion, but definitely not a bad thing. The more protection the merrier. So it is very nice to see this 2 times drop protection rating. On the bottom right you can see that it just says the kind of case that it is. And on the back we have some more technical details about how the case works with the layers and all that. This is a 5-layer case. We have the armor frame, the top grain leather, the polycarbonate shear plate, the alloy metal hardware, which is essentially just the 3 little screws into the case, and then we have the impact resistant rubber, which does provide a great deal of the drop protection that you see in this case. You can see we also do have a 10-year limited warranty, which is again very, very excessive. This case is excessive without being bulky, which is a very nice thing, but it does have a 10-year warranty, which just shows that Urban Outfitters really stands behind this case. Should anything really go wrong with the case, Urban Outfitters will replace it theoretically within that 10-year period. I doubt you'll even have the same phone for those 10 years, but if something were to go wrong with the case within those 10 years, then Urban Outfitters should do something about it, which is very nice. It just shows that they really stand behind the case, and it is in fact a really high quality case. This is just the case itself, so first and foremost we'll go ahead and install it on the phone here. It's very easy to do. You just kind of put in one side of your phone here like this, and just kind of push it all around the corners, and then you can see that it is installed, and it's very easy to put on the phone, of course, and it is also easy to take off. You can kind of just push on one corner and the phone will pop out, which is very nice. If you do switch cases often or something, you will be happy to have this feature because it's very easy to take the case on and off the phone. When you are using this case, this is what you will be presented with when you are using your phone. We do have a very nice lay on the table design, as you can see here. The case does come up above the screen on all sides, which is very nice, so if you were to lay your phone down on a table or something, the table would be making contact with the phone rather than your phone screen, which is of course a good thing for scratches and all of that. On the back of the case here, we do have the things I was talking about earlier. We do have the kind of leather here, which doesn't really do much more than just look good. I guess you can kind of feel it and you're like, oh, there's leather in the case, but it doesn't really provide anything for protection or anything like that. Most of our protection here comes from the reinforced rubber corners as well as the kind of polycarbonate frame here, which helps absorb the shock and all of that if you were to drop your phone or something like that. All these things do contribute to the 2 times military drop test rating, which is a very nice thing to see because, of course, I mean, you want the case to be protective, and it definitely does that and more than that. I also think the design looks very good. I personally like the darker gray one better than this lighter one. However, if you do have a silver iPhone or maybe a different color, then you might like this lighter one better. It's all up to personal preference. That's just what I personally prefer. On the sides of the case here, we do have this kind of hexagonal grip, which does a very, very good job in preventing the case from being slippery or anything like that. Even if you have wet hands, it's really not hard to grip onto this case because of the little hexagons all along the sides here. They do an excellent job of making the case feel very grippy. These are on both sides of the case here, which is a very nice thing to see, and they do go up the entire span of the case, whereas on some Urban Outfitters cases they're only a little grip here, but the hexagons do go up the entire side of the case, which is very nice. The sleep-wake button does have very nice rubber overlay, and as I mentioned in several other videos, with Urban Outfitters buttons, they're only attached on like 2 or 3 sides, so rather than being attached on all 4 sides, which would make it pretty difficult to actually push the little button, they are only kind of loosely attached. They are attached well enough that they will of course stay on the case, but they are kind of loosely attached so that when you push the button, it does feel exactly like the actual iPhone 7's button, which is a very nice thing to see. That is one thing I'm a little picky about, is I want the feel of the buttons to be as close to the actual feel of the iPhone's buttons as possible, and with this rubber overlay it definitely does that, which is a very nice thing to see. It does feel exactly like the iPhone 7 buttons, except it does have a little bit of added grip, which isn't a bad thing. Same for the volume rocker on the other side. It is the exact same deal, except we do of course have a slightly different design for the cover of them. The mute switch has a very roomy cutout. You can easily access it and all of that, which is a very nice thing to see. And then when we look at the bottom of the case here, this is where things get a little interesting because, as you can see, we do have a headphone jack cutout for our phone that does not have a headphone jack. It is a little bit interesting, however, that is because it is for the iPhone 6s as well. Urban Outfitters didn't want to manufacture 2 different cases, so they just made it so you can use this one for both the iPhone 6s and the 7. It does make sense. I can understand why they wouldn't want to manufacture 2 cases when the phones are so similar, but if you do use the iPhone iPhone 7, you will have this kind of useless cutout there. Of course, you do still have a cutout for the speakers, so it is kind of for both the iPhone 6s and 7, as you can see here, but arguably it looks a little worse because you do have this cutout when you don't have the headphone jack to use it. The other cutouts are perfectly fine, and they all work for both the iPhone 7 and the 6s. Our camera cutout is also very roomy as well. If you do have an iPhone 6s, you will have an excessively large cutout because the camera lens for the iPhone 6s is much smaller. However, if you do have an iPhone 7, it does look right at home here because we do have a perfect cutout for our flash and our camera lens and all of that, which is very nice to see. So I think that is pretty much it for this Urban Armor Gear Monarch series case. This is, of course, the platinum version, as I mentioned. I reviewed the graphite color a few videos ago if you're interested in purchasing that one. If you do have a darker iPhone, I would recommend checking out that one because, in my opinion, it does look better, but it is totally up to you, of course. If you wish to purchase a product, of course, you can do so using the link in the description. And if you enjoyed the video, then a like is always appreciated. If you'd like to see more videos very similar to this one, then feel free to subscribe. I will be doing a bunch of Urban Armor Gear case reviews for the iPhone 7 in the near future, and I also already have a few up on my channel if you are wanting to go see those. Anyway, it's been Jordan from Joe Reviews. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next review.